Good morning, everybody. Whoop. Yeah, technology, right? So let's figure this out so I don't trip. So this is something that's kind of important to everybody. A couple of disclaimer. Um, what you see, some of the stuff is just references. I do not endorse any of the agency that doing all the survey. I have no connection to them, and I do not get anything out of this. We just put the presentation. This is not my normal voice for those that you that might know me. I was sick for a while because some laryngitis never really healed. So I'm going to contribute to my second puberty. Okay, so if you hear something more, it's because I'm having some problem with my voice. When you can hear better? Okay, so welcome. This is a service readiness preparation. I'm sure all of this is nothing new to you. Please pardon me if I say something that you already know or just a repeat, but um, putting it together to kind of pull together all my stuff that I know all about. Okay, so let's go. We get this thing working. Okay, great. All right. So I'm Jonathan Lee. I'm the managing partner of HCM Consulting Network. I've been doing this all my career. My last several 10 years been at medical centers. My last one is one of those bigger hospital where we have 14 medical center, and I have regional responsibility to survey. So one of my favorite things to say is don't ramp up, right? Be in a constant readiness, because a lot of time people just wait till they say, oh my God, the survey is at the door. I'm gonna do it, or you know they're coming in 6 weeks, and you can say, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So just don't ramp up. Get to the point where you get at constant readiness. You don't care when they show up, and when they show up, you're ready for them. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about some surveying agency. Again, to just review, I'm sure you all know about who they are. Some standard readiness and some Q&A. Pretty simple, straightforward stuff. Okay. So you all know CMS, right? God of all land, they hold the money for Medicaid, Medicare. State health department, local health jurisdiction, they're the local people that have access to your medical center. CMS has money. If you don't get money from CMS, you're pretty doomed in your hospital. State level, local jurisdiction, they own padlock. They can lock you out. They can impose immediate jeopardy as well. Okay. Joint Commission, anybody from Joint Commission before I say anything? Joint Commission is a private organization. You pay them to aggravate you. Okay, so don't think of them as being, oh my God, Joint Commission is here. Absolutely, they're here, but they're a private organization. You give them money so they can come and make your life miserable. Okay, DNV, the same thing. AAAXC is the same thing, right? They're private organization there to make money so that you're at accounting readiness. Okay, and the way how they come together is because the state hospital, because CMS doesn't have enough surveyor out there. So they would basically contract out to the state. The state have deemed status, which means that they can walk in there, survey, and then report back up to CMS. The bad part is what they find at your local hospital, they come in, they'll be on the phone with CMS, and CMS will be the next morning. I've done that many times. They came in for hospital focus survey. By God, CMS was there the next day. Okay, so they're tying in that sense. Joint Commission, those people, it's the same way. They're deemed status because CMS don't have enough surveyor to go out. So they contract out to Joint Commission and some other people. And when they come in, and if your hospital is deemed status, guess what? At the end of the survey, they're on the phone. I experienced that many times in my career. They actually went in there, come out, the next day, CMS is there. Okay, so it's important that these guys on the bottom, private, they want your money. So therefore, give them the money, let them help you, but they are not there to shut you down. Hospital, state level, CMS, they can shut you down. I've been through a state survey. They actually came in for a nursing issue. Um, they deemed the hospital to be immediate jeopardy. It's in California. They were fined, the last time I remember, it's like $15,000 a day until the problem is solved. Okay, so just the relationship between the three of them. Okay, what's the consequence of not meeting standard? Non-compliance, and how will service be stopped? First one is too many findings. I'm sure you guys gone through that, right? I'm not sure that they'll stop the survey, but I know of one or two hospitals that actually got the surveys stopped in the middle of survey because there's so many findings that was going on. Uh, the state came into one of my hospital. They were there doing a nursing focus survey. Guess what happened? They found several things, and they came back and they said, "How many more are we going to find before they stop the survey?" Okay, immediate jeopardy. The favor for the state of California. They want money, so they'll find ways to immediate state of make sure that you're not danger to public health, and they'll declare immediate jeopardy. Okay, loss of accreditation, of course, right? Joint Commission, you lose that accreditation, they come back, you get them more money, they'll resurvey you again. Of course, your reputation in the community is at stake, right? Oh my God, that hospital is no longer accredited by Joint Commission, CMS, or whoever. So therefore, your reputation is very important to your administrator. They want to know that they're fine in the community that you're serving. Okay, some basic reference, I'm sure you all know that. I'm not going to show every one of them, but CMS, they have their hospital maintenance requirement that came out. The category waiver for RPT that's been out there. Survey for CMS, the joint most survey to NFPA 99 2012 as code. So again, check with your local authority, fire marshal, if they are also under NFPA 99 2012. That's what they're going to survey to code. My favorite, maintenance to manufacturer's recommendation and procedure. That's a CMS thing. The Joint Commission adopted that as well. AEM, right? My favorite subject. If you're going to do something, if you don't do it to manufacturer's recommendation, then you need to have it in an AEM of some sort. You have some kind of process going on, right? Maintenance compliant to 100% completion, that is CMS at Joint Commission. Okay. 1135 waiver, pandemic has already started, but the Trump administration declared pandemic. The Biden administration came to a conclusion that it's done, but if you have a 1135 waiver, there is condition that you need to know about when they walk in with a surveyor. NFPA 99 2012, electrical safety is no longer a requirement doing maintenance, except for incoming inspection or after a major repair. Again, these are just information for purpose. You at the hospital dictate what you're gonna do. What you say is what you do. Okay, but those no longer there. Okay. This is quick. I'm not gonna go through. Okay, 1135 waiver. The waiver do not have to be sent to the 1135 waivers CMS government. Once you take the declaration, you don't have to tell them about it. You just have to have it. So when they walk in the door, they're going to ask you, you have any waiver? Yeah, RPT 1135 or whatever that you have. Okay. Physical environment that okay, the level of safety. So basically, what they're saying that if you capacity while doing COVID, you don't have the capacity to do some of your work. You take the 1135 waiver, and you know what? You're kind of forgiving in a sense, but you want to make sure that you are that's at a level of safety and quality for your organization, whatever that you do. Okay. Okay, here's 1135 in brief. It's been updated in 2021, sorry. Stipulate hospital must have activated the emergency management system. Show of hand, anybody know that your hospital you activated emergency management system? Yes? If you did, you're great. If you didn't, guess what? All the rule went out the window. You still have to meet all your compliance regulation. You have to make manufacturer recommendation, frequency, and guess what? There's no out for it. You have to declare it. If you don't declare it, you're on the hook. You have to get things done. 100% completion is still on the hook if you did declare 1135 waiver. That's so important. Okay? And assessment must be documented. Did you go to your EOC committee and say, yeah, 1135 is activated. This is what we're doing. This is how we're going to do it. This is my recovery plan. So three things to remember: activate your emergency preparedness, emergency declaration, um, uh, implement the waiver, and then you have to make your assessments required to be documented. You have to document, because if it's not documented, it's not real. So when you go back to your hospital, make sure you ask your safety officer and those people, have you declared 1135 waiver at the beginning of the pandemic? If they did it, you're on the hook for all maintenance activities. So if you missed a PM, you didn't do some work, you're on the hook for that 100% completion. Okay? Document, document, document. My favorite word, right? If it's not documented, it's not real. So if you can't prove it, it is not real. Simple as that. Okay? State of content readiness. How do we get there? We have to make sure that we are consistently ready, no matter when they walk in. But you don't ramp up. You don't say, oh, they'll be here in 6 weeks, 6 months. You got to be ready today, tomorrow, to make sure that you're ready when they walk in. I don't care who walks in. Anybody can walk in. You're ready for them, okay? How do we do that? Be prepared. Right? I'm sorry, wrong hand. As a scout, you gotta be prepared. Be prepared. Know what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do it, what you're gonna do, when you're gonna do it, and how you're gonna say it. So the more you practice, the better you be at it, and then you won't freeze up in front of a survey. Okay, one of my senior technician at one of my hospital, survey walks in, guess which way he's going? Out the back door. We're ready, but he's just so freaked out all the time that he just, you don't want to confront the surveyor. Okay. Okay. Say as you do as you say. This is so important. Your policy and procedure dictate what you do. You better do it and say yes. Yeah, they can do that. As long as you get federal, as long as you can see there's money coming through, they can show up anytime, right? Yeah, but what you say as you do as you say. It's so simple, right? Review your policy and procedure. I don't know how often you update yours or review yours. My last couple of hospitals is every year. We review all policy and procedure. We document it's been reviewed, and we have a cover sheet to see all of our policy and procedure. Because what you say, they're going to hold you accountable for it. If you say, I am doing maintenance to manufacturer's recommendation, by God, if I'm a surveyor, I'm going to hold you to that. Prove it. Okay, we'll talk a little bit about it in a little bit. Okay. So how do you get prepared? Well, some people say don't burn tree. I do a little bit. I have a service readiness binder that I built for my last hospital. I have 14 medical centers that I'm responsible for. I built them, each one of them have their own binder. Okay. And I'm not here to advertise, okay, so don't. But this is the same binder that I use throughout my whole career to help them prepare. If you have it in your hand, when you walk in the door, you're confident. You're not going running around searching for documents. You're not saying blah, blah, blah. Okay. So it's good to have one. When you do your annual evaluation, you do your annual review of your policy procedure, update your binder. Every 6 months or so, go back in there and just kind of make sure all your stuff is updated. Because your policy change. Policy change. Okay. You get physical or electronic. So one of my last hospital that I had, when I walked in there, they had 3 years of documentation on 3 different shelves, 21 binder, 3 of them. Okay. I was fortunate to have a clerical that can help me through that. Every January, she freaks out because she had to take out the last one, update it, move to over, and create a new set, right? So we got rid of the physical. We went to electronic because you can have it on your laptop, your tablet. You can pull it out through your own hospital network. Okay, this is good to have as you walk into a survey. They see you have something in your hand that they know you're ready for them. So just build one of these. Okay. Okay, this is your Bible for the survey. Basically standard with EP. I'm going to use Joint Commission as a reference. And then I have tab location. I also have published document from CMS and the Joint Commission to put in there in case a surveyor challenge you. Well, you have a document to show them, hey, this is what they said. This is what I'm doing. Yes. Standard with evidence of performance. That's part of the Joint Commission standards. Okay. Of course, then you build your table of content in your service readiness binder. Mine's pretty thick because I built a lot of stuff in there. But this is the way you do it. You have your binder, you walk in there, you feel confident that you're ready for them. That's important. You walk in there, feel confident. You might not know everything, but you feel confident. Okay, here we go. What I put in mind, basically, first of all, the AEM, the standard that I have to go by, some reference document that I can, challenge the surveyor with, table of content, the scope of service, whatever the service that you do in your organization, what does it entail? Put it in there because they want to see what you do. Management of the environment. How do you manage your environment? The EOC document. Service level agreement. Do you have an agreement with nursing that you have standard to deal with? Do you tell nursing, I will be there in 20 minutes, I will answer your call within an hour, I will be on call 24/7? Those are service level agreement. Okay? If equipment inventory procedure, whatever your procedure you use is fine, right? But again, right, say what you do what you say. I also have a little bit of equipment inventory, some high risk. It's pretty simple. You can print out all your high risk stuff in maybe about 10 pages, right? Have them all there in the binder. Update it every so often. Inventory non-high risk. You know what? I print the first page of my CMMS. And say, if you want more, I'll put whatever you want. But you know that you have something for them to show them an example of what your stuff is. Schedule inspection and corrective maintenance. Your procedure. What do you do? How do you do inspection? How do you do corrective maintenance? So once you have all of that, then guess what? You're in tune with what they need. Yes.
As far as AEM, what is the survey or what criteria are they looking for?
Say what you do what you say. Show me why you have an AEM. Tell me what is your process? What is your risk analysis? How do you evaluate your AEM? Okay. Just to have an AEM doesn't mean it's good forever. You have to evaluate, is it working? Is it not working? Okay. It could be as simple as a thermometer. Okay. But the manufacturer say you will need to do your thermometer maintenance every 46 weeks. I don't know, some one of the weird numbers, right? And you say, well, that's ridiculous. My CMMS can't even keep it up. And why am I doing maintenance? Because I have no failure on this thing. But if you prove that thing and you write in EAM, you can say, I will no longer do thermometer maintenance. Okay. But you document how you got there, what your program is entail, what the procedure is, and guess what? At the end of the year, you need to evaluate, is your program working? Do a sample of your thermometer. Make sure that what you say is right. Because if you say, I don't calibrate it every year, but then at the end of the year and you look at all your data, you have all of this thermometer that's not out of calibration, your AEM is not working. You have to evaluate all those things, right? So that's what they look at. Say what you do what you say. Okay, there's a whole new topic on AEM. Okay, so evaluation of AEM, I'm not going to go through the detail, just give a quick sample of what it looks like, how they evaluate at my last organization. You just go through the flow chart and then you come out and say, okay, it worked or it doesn't work. Okay, you got to make sure that you say what you do what you say. Okay, don't forget to perform annual AEM effectiveness. A lot of organizations that say, oh, I got an AEM program, it worked. How do you know it worked? If I was a survey, I'm going to challenge you. How do you know it worked? Tell tell me, show me how is it working. Is it working or is it not working? Okay. Also on AEM, how many of you, I'll go through that in a little bit. Okay, standard tab. So this is one of my tabs that I have. What I built was something that looks very similar to this. It has all of the EP. It has the verbiage for it, where you're going to find the information. Let me here. Here is the standards, where you're going to find the information, and who's responsible and what tab is it. So if you go to an EP, you can go directly to the tab. You're welcome to come and take a look at this if you want, okay, afterward. But you have, so what I did is I took Joint Commission standard and I just broke it down that way, okay. EC 0204, 02041 and 020403, but that is not the only standard. There's other standards out there. Okay? There is leadership standard. There is standard for nursing nursing care. You know that nursing is supposed to have a procedure in that thing to say before they use their medical devices, the user is supposed to check it before they put it on a patient. But if they don't put it in there, guess what? They're not found their own. But provision of care, you have to work with nurses to see what they are doing. It applies to you as well, right? Leadership. Do you manage contract? How many manage contracts? Okay, you manage contracts, right? Do you do annual effective evaluation of the contractor? Yeah. Okay. They'll ask leadership. Leadership going to come. Oh, biomed. Do you? They have no clue. So if you're on top of it, guess what? You're prepared, right? Some reference documents is one I took from CMS. It's there. It's their document. It's public information. I put it in my binder. They challenged me. Guess what? Hey, that's what you said. This is what I'm following. So therefore, it's easier to go back and challenge a surveyor, but they might remember. Joint Commission doesn't know everything. I'm sorry, Joint Commission. But they do go back and reference back to some of those information that's out there. So if you have it in front of you, I don't care if it is 2013, it's still there, it's still effective, it's still going on. Okay? You have the document to show that you know what you're talking about. Okay. Something I have, I just quick letter from Joint Commissions, CMS maintenance requirement, the George Mill 2017 that he published. I just stuffed it in my binder so that whenever they challenge me, I say, no, that's not what George Mill said way back then. Joint Commission has to change the rules on that. Maintenance activity, that hasn't changed. A lot of the stuff hasn't changed. So it's still there. But if you have it, you can go back and you can challenge. And then when you show them that you have it, the chances the survey is not going to ask you too much more questions because they know you know what you're talking about. Okay. NFP 99-2012, my favorite chapter, chapter 10. It talks about some of the basic stuff. It talks about a little bit about right to repair is built in there. 2012, they already talked about that. They talk about electrical safety at incoming and after major repair. So why are you wasting your time doing electrical safety when you don't have? But don't take my word for it. It's what your organization say to do, right? If your administration say you will do electrical safety, do it. That's the boss that said do it, right? But it's no longer required. You can prove to your administration there's no risk, right? You go back to your database and look up the last 10 years. When's the last time you had an electrical safety related incident? Almost next to none, except somebody fried themselves, right? Electrocution, RPT, and some of the other stuff. But then, there. Yes. No, no. Who determined that?
Well, I mean, I know
Manufacturer's recommendation, right? Their frequency, right? If they say you shall do this every so often, internally it's you. You're the expert, right? Risk management going to come down on you. I guarantee you that. They will come and say, oh, no, you can't do that. Say, oh, no, you can't do that, right? Engineering can, oh, no. But if you can prove your point, you say, look, this is what I've able to research. This is what my database tells me. These are the stuff that I have witnessed. I have no incident, therefore I can change it. But if you change it from a manufacturer's recommendation, guess what you're going to need?
Well, I know you have to justify, like, they go by failure rate on the product to justify.
Yeah. So if you have to change a manufacturer's procedure, what do you have to do? AEM. That's the only way out, either manufacturer's recommendation and frequency or an AEM. That's only two solutions. Okay. What should your CMMS say? Really should be saying there should be only one code or two code in your CMMS. Maintain to manufacturer's recommendation frequency, or no PM required because of AEM 001, whatever, right? All of this stuff that they added to all the extra CMMS stuff is good, but you know what? The minute you pull up something that's a little bit different from the manufacturer, as a survey, I'm going to challenge you. Show me a manufacturer's recommendation. So all the CMMS that they out there that's built, oh, I can put your procedure, but those procedures better match the manufacturer's recommendation.
They basically want to see if they're reasonable, deviate from it.
Yeah, manufacturer, right? Yes, sir. So what was the rule say? Rule said per manufacturer's recommendation. That's what CMS said, right? They'll take precedent, right? But if you're going to say, I don't like what the OEMs did, so write your own AEM, prove that you can do that. So jurisdiction is law of the land, right? Who said the law of the land, right? CMS, manufacturer recommendation and frequency. That's it. No other way out except with AEM. Okay. Ah, I couldn't find that slide. So EP's expectation, right? So um, survey to 100% plan maintenance in line with manufacturer's recommendation or the policy set by the organization 100% of the time. So there's the two for you, right? You follow manufacturer's recommendation or the organization's policy. What you say in your policy and procedure, it takes precedent as well, right? Say what you do what you say. Okay. Here's my table of content. Usually it talks about, scope of, I'm not going to bore you with all this, but scope of service, what you do, management of the environment, you put your AEM plan, effective evaluation, service level agreement, the inventory procedure, high risk, low risk, uh, schedule inspection, rental, loaner, and demo. Okay, put some of the stuff in there so that when they ask, you have it. It's there. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to bore you. So mission statement, accountability, org chart, scope of service, operation, all basic stuff. What you say in your policy and procedure, you just pull it into a binder for yourself. So they don't have to go dig out all the different stuff all over the place. Here's a tab for management care. I always put AEM in there. And effectiveness evaluation, previous year's map, current map, and then if you have an RPT policy you have to deal with, you put it in there as well. Anybody deal with RPT? Whose responsibility is RPT? RPT is an extension of power. It doesn't fall under the EC chapter. It doesn't fall under EC 02, 04, 01, or 04. It falls under engineering, facility services. So if your boss is, let's say, engineering, go do this. And if your boss is engineering, they're gonna say, go do it. Okay, go do it. But it's not your responsibility.
Where is that specified that it's under engineering?
It's in your utility management under your joint commission standards. The extension of power. You can remember that You do not provide power. You provide power after you provide the stuff that's from the plug and out. Okay, you having not enough power is not your responsibility. It is a hospital responsibility. Okay, but if you happen to be lucky enough to be have to deal with RPT, well, guess what? Then you have to have an RPT program. You have to follow all the rules and regulations. You have to test it. You have to make sure that it's falling into compliance, right? My last hospital, my boss said, you will do RPT. Okay, for 14 medical center, yes. Okay, so we have to develop the program, put it together, do the assessment, blah, 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 blah. And every survey, everybody that walks in, the first thing they find on RPT, whether it's mine or not, biomed, it's an RPT problem, running up the stairs trying to fix the problem, right? So why go through that agony when you don't have to? If you can convince your administration, your leadership to say it's not fine, they're going to throw it to somebody, okay? So it's either engineering or you, depending who your boss is. Power strip, yeah. Sorry? Joint Commission EC utility management, there's not an authority. There's no authority. They wouldn't say that it's under who. It's just that what your organization is willing to accept or who they're going to go under. But if you go back to your Joint Commission standard, I think it's utility management. It talks about power strip, RPT. Okay, so understand where who responsibility that is. You have enough work to do. You don't have enough time in the day to go RPT hunting. But if you lucky enough to have it, then you have to deal with it. But if you convince your leadership and management to say that it's not yours. Okay. Also remember, adding a power strip to a medical device has to make adding a power strip to a medical device. Now that power strip becomes part of that medical device. Okay. One of my hospitals, they were so smart, they ran out of power. They put a power strip onto an anesthesia card, a second power strip that was not part of the original manufacture. Guess what happened? They got cited. Guess who took the fall for it? Biomed. Well, it's in a biomed stuff. Biomed didn't take care of it. Well, so be careful what you do, right? Understand who owns what. Okay. Service level agreement, put your service level agreement, whatever you have. Yes. Well, yeah, there's a requirement in the RPT standard. It has to be, it cannot be floating. It cannot be blah 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 blah. Blah. I'm not going to go into it, but it's just too much, right? But there is a whole session on RPT. Talk to me afterward. Okay. Inventory procedure. Make sure you have a risk assessment in your inventory procedure. Yes, sir. Policy and procedure. My policy that I will take care of all RPT. Your whatever your policy and procedure. Scope is more like I'm here to service medical devices, blah 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 blah. It's not having the scope with the scope of your yeah. What is policy and procedures? PMP. Yeah, yeah. Scope of service is very general statement. Say what service do you provide? Not you don't spell out all the RPT, what's excluded, what's not included. Okay. So is this talk to me afterward. You can go to here, look at this. Okay. Um, incoming inspection, it's a quick, simple uh, PMP, policy and procedure on incoming inspection, what you do, how you do it. Okay. Say what you do what you say. NFPA 99/2012. Okay. High risk, simple, right? Just put out the inventory, it's there. Um, and send you non-high risk. Schedule inspection, corrective maintenance. How do you do your PM, right? How you gonna do all the stuff? Just give them sample PM report. Okay. Here's the scope. Here's your whole list of stuff that we say. Your hours of service, after hours of policy, and all the different stuff. And those are what different how you're going to present that to you is really up to you. I'm not going to tell you where to put it, but policy and procedure. Say what you do what you say. Simple, right? Okay, MEP and effectiveness. It should have all of those elements. I'm not going to bore you. I'm sure that you all do that right now as part of your ongoing organization. So let's hit all of that. Make sure that you have your annual. One thing that people forget to do is your annual effective evaluation. I have a summary metric and then your performance improvement. That's basically what we do for our environmental care committee. Okay, previous year. Okay, don't forget though. Put last year evaluation, this year's um, MEM. Okay, and current MEM. Okay, this is an example what my last hospital, what my last organization did. All 14 medical is a standard template. What we have is we have the standards, we have what it is, we have the metric, and then the number. And it's a spreadsheet, it's self-populate, you put in the number, it'll automatically calculate. One of the important things they also look for is completion, right? What does it say? 100% completion. Raise your hand. How many actually does 100% completion? Never. If you tell me, if you tell me that you do 100% completion, never. You're unable to locate, out for repair, but you know what? On your metric, you report it out. I I I am at 100% compliant. That's the key. Not completion, compliant. Because what you attempt to do, you make effort, you went, you find it, you can do it. But if you document it on your CMMS, I was out there looking for this infusion pump. I could not find it. I asked Nurse Smith to help me. I spent half an hour doing this. I'm going to classify this, unable to locate. And your last statement should be when the device is found, PM must be performed before next patient use. That should be your last sentence on all of your unable to locate. And when you find it, device found, perform maintenance. Yes, sir. The CMIA run your hospital. The real standard is say what you do what you say. If you said after under two attempt of UTL, I would classify the device as being inactive. Okay, when a device is found, PM must be performed before the next patient use. That is your standard in your PNP, right? Policy procedure. You set the standard. Nobody's going to tell you after whatever. If you say 3 months is too long, 6 months is too long, a year is too long, you decide what is it that you want to do. You are the owner, right? You're the content expert. You say this is how we're going to do it. Make sure you don't do it in a vacuum. Make sure you go to risk management, nursing, administration, and guess what? Your environment of care. Make them all buy in on it. After that, you're good to go. Surveyor is very good at finding stuff. I guarantee you that. They will look for stuff and they'll find it. Oh, then you know what? If your policy say, hey, when it's found, PM must be performed. Thank you, Mr. Surveyor. You found my stuff. I've been looking for it. Thank you. Take it away. They can't get you for that. Because your policy say when it's found and you documented it was lost. Yes, sir, Matt. Okay. Thanks, you, Matt. That's Carol Davis, right? Carol stuff too, yeah. Okay, so quick and easy. You set this to your EOC every month, and you have it in your binder. You can pull up anytime. You can defend anything you do. This is your entire environmental care chapter for biomed, including imaging. Okay, don't forget imaging. If you have imaging, don't forget there's a whole slew of stuff you can do for imaging. Okay, simple performance improvements. This is something that for your environmental care committee. What do you want to improve on? Find something, right? One of ours, my last hospital is how to improve the turnaround time of devices, right? We ran the data, it was like 15 days. We try to break it down to 7 days. It's something that you wish for, right? Whether you're successful or not successful, you try to improve on something, right? Something real, tangible. Okay. EP, beside the EC chapter 02, 04, 01, 03, don't forget library of information. How many of you have your library of information available? You know, excellent, great, awesome, right? So remember to talk about PM, according to manufacturer's recommendation. If you don't have a library of information, how are you going to do your PM? How are you going to do your maintenance? If you don't get one, you can't even Google it. You can't Google it. Okay, so what do? You don't have one. But this is the EC standard, EC02, EC01, 01, 01. It's there. If you don't have it, what you going to do? Okay, minimize risk, right? So you see, this is another one. Let's talk about laser hazards things, right? Monitoring contract leadership. They're going to ask you, right? Do you have contract? Do you have oversight on contract? If you don't monitor them, you don't evaluate them, well, guess what? Leadership going to come ask you, do you have them? Okay. Uh, TC, this is nursing, right? So some of that, and NFPA 99, chapter 12, chapter 10, that's CMS, the joint survey to NFPA 9, 2012. That is all your standards and performance. Don't forget just because the EC chapter is there, there's other stuff in there. There is also human resource. Is all your people in your staff properly trained? Uh, do you have you have a contract with a vendor? Do you monitor their service? Do you evaluate how effective they are? Do they perform to the same standard that you have for your technician? Okay, you could go to, company XYZ and have a service contract with them, and then do you have a file on that company's technician that's able to do the work? Are they credentialed to do the work, right? So don't forget those things. You may not ask for it, but sometimes surveyor walk in. I could care less about the EC stuff. It's given. You guys know about it. I don't care about that stuff. I go after something I know that you don't have. Okay? Crystal ball, my favorite thing, right? When will your next survey be? Anybody know? Do you know when your next survey is going to be? A couple of weeks? A couple of years? How long? Okay.
But they do come unannounced sometimes.
They can't do an announce anymore. Go to your hospital lobby, go find the picture frame that has the Joint Commission thing that they give you, and look at the date that the survey was passed. It's public information, folks. It's not rocket science. Okay, here's the answer. For your last survey, plus or minus 1 week. This is so true, and it's proven it worked, right? My friend back there, it proved it for 14 hospitals. We were able to predict all of their survey for the last, I don't know how many years. Okay, so yes, sir.
So if they came outside that time frame, well, can they?
Of course.
But usually,
That's okay. I'll tell you why. Joint Commission is deemed status to CMS. CMS said you will go back 36 months to the day that you were there last.
But you said, what can they do before that?
Well, welcome them, give them a hug. Welcome them, right? Yes, they can come anytime they want, but this is the pretty much standards.
they report to CMS. They're under CMS.
They're contracted to CMS. Yeah, they're deemed status. Okay, so this is your magic, the crystal ball. Yeah, right. So depending on which organization you use, but I've been using basically Joint Commission for kind of a quick reference, right? If your CMS is 36 months, pretty much to the day, but that's required by law. That's Congress, and let Congress change that. Okay. People forget about that. Yes, sir. Oh, you missed this part, huh? Okay, yeah, you must have missed a part. So CMS is law of the land. Your local health care like Department of Health and those people, and then you have Joint Commission, DNV, AAAXC, right? So CMS is federal government. They hold the key to everything, money-wise, right? Okay. Local jurisdiction, they hold the key to whether your door open or shut closed. Joint Commission and some of the other people, they're private company. You pay them to aggravate you.
They get permanent jobs or?
Yes, absolutely. They won't hire me. I'll tell you why. You know what? You know what? Joint Commission won't hire me. You know why? I know some of the stuff that they don't know. Okay. So yeah, this is a magic crystal ball. Go back. So if you have multiple hospitals, you can go back and look at that, build your spreadsheet, and you can see where your survey is. Okay, go back a couple of years to make sure the numbers are correct, right? Okay, what to expect the survey? Kind of pretty smart. So first, they're pretty smart. Stay calm. Don't run away like my senior technician, right? Stay calm. Okay. Project confident. You are the content expert. You know, you know. Okay. If you don't know the answer, don't panic and say, oh, don't panic, but say, I'll get back to you. It's acceptable to say, I don't know in a better way, but don't wait to the end of the survey. Come back, oh, by the way, I have the answer. They expect an answer pretty quick. So you go find the answer for them. Okay. One, answer the question to the point. Do not offer anything other than ask. If you like to talk like people like me, don't go blah, 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 and tell them everything. It asks you, do you have an AM program? Yes, I do. Let, let them probe you, right? You can buy time by asking the surveyor to rephrase the questions you don't understand. If you don't understand something, ask them. My favorite thing is, I don't understand your question. I'm sorry, that's a private joke. Don't go, just say, um, rephrase it. I don't understand what you're asking. Could you rephrase what you're asking? It's okay to do that, but don't ask it for every question. They get really annoyed, right? For something that is really actually it buys you time to think for the answer. Never say I or we. Say no. Use we or our. Never say I did this, I did that. Then you're now working in a vacuum. We, my organization, we, our committee, our technician, our program. Okay. Never say I. But they don't like the I. They like the we and our. Okay. Refer to your SRV. You got it together. Go there. Go after that. Right. Never throw your business partner or colleague under the bus. Oh no, man, that's engineering problem. That's RPT. We no, 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 no. Just say, great, thank you. We will solve it. Okay. Don't say you're an engineering guy or administration. No, no, don't do that. Just say, okay, thank you for that input. We'll get back to you. So almost every survey, maybe they have changed it now since then. They will go to an EOC committee. Everybody sit in. They're going to ask all these kind of questions. They'll spend like 2 seconds on biomed. Tell me about your program. Blah blah. If you want to surveyor or people that prep survey and you're always there like me, I've been to 15 medical centers where I have responsibility. I show up to 3 of them. After that, they see me again. They didn't want to talk to me, but the program is the same and it worked throughout. So if you have multiple hospital, you need to be the one, or somebody has to be the one to say, I will represent all of the program, because all the program work the same, and you can prove it the first time, second time, the third time, you're good to go. But then last time they don't want to see you, okay? And a lot of times they're going to ask you something like, um, okay, yeah, make sure you have a presentation available, right? In case nobody talk, they're gonna point to you to talk. Okay. Talk about your accomplishment, your PI goal at your EOC conferences. Okay, um, they like to see cross-departmental collaboration. It's not in a vacuum. I work with nursing to improve patient care. We take care of the devices. They take care of us. They make sure the equipment is functioning before they use it. Blah 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 blah. A work order comes in when it's failed. Whatever that your accomplishment, right? Collaboration. Make sure you talk about you collaborate with other departments outside of your own. Okay. They'll most likely ask, how does your map play in the overall of the hospital um, PI goal? How does it affect? How does your stuff affect the whole hospital? Every EOC committee that I know of has a PI goal of their own. What are they going to accomplish as a group? Your plan is a part of that PI plan. Okay, they're going to ask you, how does biomed fit into engineering? How does it fit into the environmental care? So just again, go back and make friends with the people in the safety committee and just talk to them about, hey, how are we supposed to fit into your plan? Because they're going to ask. Okay, they asked that many times. Okay. Okay, one of the things, do your team know their safety training? Does your team, your biomed team, understand the safety training of the hospital? Okay, hand hygiene. Everybody have to know that stuff, right? So they have an annual safety training, whatever they have it. I call mine SHIELD, safety, hazardous, infection prevention, electrical safety, uh, leaders, leadership, and disaster prep. So your team have to know all of that because guess what? If you're not there, they're going to grab somebody else, or they see one of your technicians sitting out there. They're going to ask, hey. And one of the best things for your team to understand is infection prevention, hand hygiene, gel in, gel out. Okay, before you go in, after you come out. Survey are very good. I'll tell you what they do. Right? They'll stand here in the corner like this, right? And they watch people in another room, right? And then they'll count how many times they see people in another room without hand hygiene. Infection prevention is huge in a hospital. That's one of the high priority. They'll get the hospital, not you. But if they say, oh, 6 biomed came through, none of them wash their hand, they'll come after your department, right? So hospital have responsibility to overall organizational safety. Yeah, so I am not, when I was at the hospital, that the sterilization doesn't fall under my jurisdiction. So I was, so I kind of always say, oh, I'll get back to you. Hey, as sterile processing, you guys have been asked about this. Can you go take care of this? Or tell them, give you the answer, you report back, right? As long as they get some response back to what they're asking. Okay, what's next? Well, build your SRB, update frequently, monthly, quarterly, SM or whatever. Just build one. Okay, just have one. Okay, preparation, more frequent round. One of the things you want to do is that don't just go, oh, it's okay, we'll get it done. Just make rounds, see different things, right? Make sure that things are working okay, right? Uh, basic knowledge, make sure your staff understand basic stuff. Okay? Don't just run away from the from, the, from it all, right? Okay, preparation, talk with your clinical staff. How are they affected by what you do? How is what you do affecting them? Understand them. But once you understand them, they'll understand you. You get less frequent call, right, Jose? Okay. Never say I don't know. I have technicians that say I don't know. Okay. There's a couple of quick survey stuff. I did some quick assessment. I'm not going to bore you. What we did was we went to each biomed department, and we ranked them through some of this stuff, how effective they are, how ready they are. And this is your own mock survey, basically, right? I'm not going to bore you with this, but this is something that we do. And this is kind of a graph we send to management. You know, the one at the top, they're fully compliant. They have stuff to work on. And so this organization, pretty compliant. They have a few things they have to work on. So therefore, you know where your shortcoming is. You know what you're going to focus on. Say my time is almost up. I'm not going to bore you with that. This is what we did. We talked with we put that back to our senior leadership to let them know what's going on with it. Right? Do your own survey. Report back up somewhere so somebody you're not working in a vacuum. Okay. Don't forget the low hanging fruit. Those are the stuff that you say, they'll never ask, they'll never care about, right? Stuff that you don't know that they know that you don't know. So for instance, one of my organization has pulse Doppler. You know those are right, the little Doppler. What is it? PM required? No PM required. Manufacturer's recommendation, right? They found 3 of them on a nursing floor. The State Department of Health came in. Nurse surveyor said, I found 3 of them. How many more do I have to find? Low hanging fruit, stuff that you don't think they care about. They don't. If a survey, I could care less about your ventilator, your defibrillator. None of that. I know it's all done. What about the stuff, the little stuff that you don't, that you forget about, sir?